Today is no. Even before I get to that, there's the deep dive episode. So the song you just heard is called "Am I Black Enough for You" by Billy Paul, the late great Billy Paul. Deep dive on the song "Am I Black Enough for You." Okay, so the song was written by Gamble and Huff, and if you know or have heard anything about, you know, like 70s soul music, R&B, whatever you want to call it, those guys were prominent. Like, they was writing hits. It's one of those, you know their name. If not, you know they work. Like, Close the Door, Teddy Pendergrass, You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine, Lou Rawls. They wrote and produced that. Used to Be My Girl by the OJs, and Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. One of my favorite songs. So, they're from Philly. Everybody cool was from Philly back in the day. You notice that? Pendergrass from Philly. Gamble and Huff from Philly. Billy Paul from Philly. But he drops Me and Mrs. Jones. This hits number 1 on the Billboard. Like, not number 1 for soul. Like, it hit that too. But number one. So, he's number 1 on the Billboard. Need a big follow-up. He wanted to follow up with a song called Brown Baby on this album. Another banger. But apparently Gamble of Gamble and Huff thought it was the time to like follow that up with like some power for the people, some empowerment. So this is what Billy Paul had to say about it. Quote, "Well, I have to be honest. This wasn't really the one that I wanted, but the company felt I had to get over to the black audience this time around. And there can be no arguing about that. The record is one of the top sellers in the black areas, one of the most requested records around the stations. I don't really think anybody expected it to be a pop hit. That's reserved for the next one, which is the one I wanted all along, Brown Baby." End quote. So, Am I Black Enough For You came out, empowered black people, angered white people. And the thing that I didn't know, but I found out in the deep dive, was that after that, it wasn't his first album, but it was his first like big hit. And you go number one. You know, it was like was he going to be the next like Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield? Maybe. Like, we don't know. But Am I Black Enough For You was the next song, which was widely accepted by the black community, not so much by the white community. And you know who owns the radio stations back then? It's the craziest thing. The whites. So, he really got blackballed, like more or less, for that being his second single. And Curtis Mayfield saw some of the same for some of the, I guess, political statements or stuff he was talking about. I think Superfly, some of his other music, got some of his music pulled off the radio for a time. And after that, Billy Paul, like, he had a number of albums. He was still Billy, you know what I'm saying? He didn't stop being cool Billy Paul, but he had a Live in Europe album that hit top 10 a couple years later, but outside that, he never got close again. And he said that he he said he never like the song was a great song. He's like, I just regret the timing. It's like we followed up that with, you know what I'm saying, Me and Mrs. Jones, an all-time song about cheating and just general debauchery. And it was like, okay, maybe that could have been the third single. So that was one of those, kind of see, like, I don't know the climate of the times, you know what I'm saying? Shit might have been real in the field. And he's singing about Me and Mrs. Jones. That might have been what the streets wanted. So I don't know. So, oh yeah, and also later on, Billy Paul has since passed. He said on tour, Am I Black Enough For You was one of his more requested songs by white people. Because that's how fucking strange you all are. He wanted to say it back in the day, and now they put him off the radio. Now, yeah, sing it again, Bill. But it is October 23rd, the year of our Lord, 2020. And I'm not having fun. No. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun because as this is the deep dive episode, a couple things that have been mentioned in past fun reports I'm going to take a deep dive into. And part of that, I feel like deep dive week started on the wrong foot because, again, the argument of who wins a silverback gorilla versus a grizzly bear hit the timeline. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? I thought we had established, like, I was like, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Just in your head, who do you got? Grizzly bear versus a silverback gorilla. Okay. Who picked the grizzly bear? Who picked the gorilla? Okay, if you picked the gorilla, you're wrong. Okay, it's fine, but you're wrong. And I'm not sure what it is because the gorilla gang was really digging their heels in the face of solid evidence. That's very popular now. Like the average silverback gorilla is 5 foot tall and weighs 350 pounds. It's human beings that size, you know what I'm saying? The average grizzly bear is 8 feet tall and weighs 800 pounds. Like, do you understand just what kind of like discrepancy we're talking about? 3 feet taller, 2.5 times heavier on average. On average. The largest silverback gorilla ever. Since we deep diving, the largest one ever was 6'5" and 600 pounds. And you know what? It was 2 different gorillas. So we'll just call it one. We'll call it one. We'll say the biggest one ever was 6'5", 600 pounds. That's the largest silverback ever. Okay, that's still 200 pounds and 1.5 feet short of the average grizzly bear. You understand? The biggest grizzly bear ever, I guess recorded, I should say, for both, was 12 feet tall and weighed 2,000 pounds. So the biggest one ever was literally twice as tall and 3 times as heavy. An average grizzly is bigger than the largest silverback ever. Like, that's just the size disadvantage. Next checkpoint, intelligence. Gorillas are smart. Gorillas are smart. They get all the hype because they're closest to us, or I guess we should say we're closest to them in a lot of the chromosomes or whatever, which feels like a knock because humans are dumb as hell. But gorillas are smart. But the thing is, grizzly bears aren't dumb. Like, they're not dumb. The worst thing, and I heard, again, y'all know the composite argument. That's just basically all of my mentions. It was like grizzly bears aren't smarter than a house cat was one I remember. And it's like, are house cats known for just being historically dumb? Like, you know what I mean? Just dumb as a house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Also, when you're 8 feet tall, 800 pounds on average, you don't really have to be that smart. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be that smart. The bully, your neighborhood. Yeah, he wasn't making good grades, was he? He was still whooping a lot of ass, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. So Grizzlies aren't dumb. Like, they have much better navigation skills than human. They have better memories. Like, their brains are bigger in comparison, like, to the rest of their body. It's videos of they use tools. They open car doors. It's a video of multiple bears playing ice hockey, dog. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So if this is, again, the not smart animal, the dumber of the two, what's the smarter one gonna do in a fight? Like, I know gorillas, they taught a gorilla to use sign language, and they like cope and grieve and feel mourning when somebody dies. So the only thing I can imagine that being helpful for is he's just signing, just in sign language. He's just signing, help. He is killing me. And then he goes through mourning with a group of other sad gorillas because they all understand mourning and what happens when you try to fight a grizzly bear after it rips you limb from limb. So next thing, gorillas are stronger. Again, I'll concede that too. Like, they can lift more, like, their own body weight, more times their own body weight. Of course, they have, smaller body weight, but they still are stronger. So I'll give them that. But it's also a thing where, like, red bears have been seen on video, like, overturning 670-pound rocks with one hand. Like, just looking for food, like just looking under the couch, trying to find a remote. 675-pound rock. Again, that's bigger than the biggest gorilla ever. So if they can turn that over with one hand, you know what I'm saying? That's 2 average gorillas right there. So, like, gorillas, they have longer arms, but it's like it's only in relation. You know what I'm saying? Like, relative to their body. You know what I'm saying? Like, Montrezl Harrell, he's the gorilla in this case, for no particular reason. But he like 6'7", 6'8", but he's got like the 7'3", 7'4" wingspan, like the crazy wingspan for somebody 6'7". Anthony Davis is like 6'11", like the 7'6" wingspan. You know what I'm saying? So Harrell has the longer wingspan relatively. You put them both on the bench press, Harrell's probably stronger. You know what I'm saying? But AD's still 7'6" and still plenty strong. Like, you know what I'm saying? That whole 7'6" means you can't even really get close to me. Like, the advantage a gorilla would have, one, the strength. You have to get close. You're not getting that close to a bear. They're just that much bigger than you. Like, if they're gonna bite, I saw gorillas have 1,300 pounds pressure, like, per bite. Grizzly bears is 1,200. You know what I'm saying? So again, they have the advantage, but 1,200 to 13. You know what I'm saying? I throw you off a 12-story building. You throw me off a 13-story building. Who wins? Right? I think we can call that a wash. Gorillas are quicker, which comes with being smaller. But bears are just much, like, if it turns into any kind of straight line speed, it's a wrap. They're, like, much faster than gorillas. Also, I feel like the bear can, like, fight on all fours. Or just stand up, just go southpaw. Like, I feel like if the gorilla tries to fight on all fours, like, he just getting feet put on him, like an ottoman, dog. Like, he's just getting, like, squished like a bug if he go down on all fours to something half its size. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of the other. Oh yeah, gorillas have thumbs. I was told that a lot, that gorillas have thumbs, and grizzlies do not have thumbs. So, I'll concede that. But they pretty much have like 3-inch knives on each paw and can open doors. You know what I'm saying? So, again, what in a fight situation, what's the gorilla using that thumb for? What, you know what I'm saying? What's he grabbing? Other than the phone call for the damn police. Police, help, police. Yeah, that's the only thing he holding the phone. While Grizzly Bear got him in the sharpshooter. So this comes down to the gorilla. I really don't think the gorilla would ever be able to get close enough to use its advantages, like the longer arms, but comparatively. Also, you talk about like what's the equivalent of like a strong chin. Like bears can take a .357 Magnum to the skull. There was a video, a guy was trying to scare off a bear. And he had a shotgun. The bear charged him. He hit the bear in the side. And the bear like rolled around and then continued charging him till he got inside. So like just if it's eating magnums to the head, shotgun shells to the body. I don't know, man. They got Harambe out of there with one shot. You know what I'm saying? That was one shot. I'm sure there was like that super high powered monkey killing rifle. They keep in a glass case. But it was one shot. I do remember that. And I'll tell you this, if that kid fell into the grizzly bear cage, he'd still be in there. Oh yeah, he'd still, like, they'd be trying to shoot and get him out. The kid would just be like 9 now. He's like, I live here now. So I don't know what people think is going to happen in this scenario where like the gorilla, he ain't Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Bill Belichick getting a bye week to come out and prepare. This is just a fight. He's not going to get to build any tools, even if he's smarter and can build the tools. He's not Batman, right? You give him 2 weeks and a solid plan. Batman could be, well, if it just turned, somebody stepped on somebody's shoes, Batman going down. So, and that's how this goes. The gorilla going down. Like, unless he using that thumb to grip a Mac 11, man. And even then, as we discussed, like, bears, they're not bulletproof, but they close. So your intelligence argument for gorillas, man. And it was said in my mentions, you think Floyd Mayweather is smarter than any of the people he beat up? He can't read. It's not a diss. This man became a multimillionaire without being able to read. We're the idiots. If you just ask me right now if I could swap it out, literacy, hundreds of millions of dollars, keep it, bro. Keep it. You know what I mean? I'll pay somebody to read for me. So, yeah, that you could say that was a stick in my craw this week, which leads to our next deep dive. This deep dive crossed my desk today via the NBA Central, via The Athletic. And there's a quote in here. The caption for the tweet says, an anonymous agent goes off on LeBron James and Rich Paul for costing clutch clients millions of dollars. It's illegal for a player, particularly if you're in the state of California, to be licensed to represent talent. So, this is the quote. After the license to represent talent, which you talk about some hater shit, boy. Quote, now I know it's this facade that it's Rich Paul, but it's really LeBron who recruits for Rich Paul. So it's almost like they're trying to control AAU at the NBA level. This is my AAU team, and they've carried that to the highest level. And because of his power and his prowess, the young players are seduced by LeBron James in the same way people were seduced by Michael Jordan with David Falk. He went from having Michael Jordan and a few other players to getting the top players in the NBA because of the Jordan factor. Rob Pelinka had tremendous success as an independent agent because he had Kobe Bryant and all the players idolized him. So the fact that LeBron recruits and has empowered Rich Paul, and I get it, on the top guys, but if someone does their research, a lot of these guys have really gotten screwed, a large number of them by mismanagement. There's at least 5 or 6 massive casualties. Nobody is saying anything. And you can even say that the union should take some responsibility because they represent all the players, not just LeBron James. Because this is anonymous, I hope you have the courage to put this out there because nobody is talking about this, but this is the reality. And if you ask any other agent what I just said, they would all agree. They've been able to leverage KCP 2 or 3 years in a row because they have the power and they're forcing it down their throat. Nerlens Noel. There are 4 or 5 of them that have suffered millions of dollars from mismanagement, but nobody has the courage to support it because all the media wants access to LeBron. They want access to AD. End quote. Whew. Y'all ever heard what sour grapes sound like? Y'all ever just heard what sour grapes sound like? Because that was sour grapes, dude. That was sour grapes. Oh Lord, that was hate. That was hater. That reeks to me of I'm an old white man that played the game this way. This is how it used to be played. It was cool when Jordan and Falk did it, and it was cool when Kobe and Pelinka did it. But now I don't like it. Probably because I'm not good enough. I can't get these players. So, what the heck? Like, yeah, Rob Pelinka got more clients because of Jordan. Isn't that literally how this works? Isn't that how all of this works? Right? For some reason, he showed he was worthy of Jordan. And he's like, well, yeah, if he can take him on, you know what I'm saying, he can get me some money. Like, this isn't new, but now it's a problem when Rich Paul's doing it. That don't seem fair. That don't seem on the level. You know what I'm saying? And I do love because this is anonymous. I hope you have the courage to put this out there. Love those. That's literally back-to-back sentences. But LeBron recruits for Rich Paul. Listen, the system works. Okay, however you feel about it, the system works. You know what I'm saying? And so it crossed my desk, and I said, like, I love Nerlens Noel, but Rich Paul wasn't the agent when Nerlens had, like, Nerlens' situation. He got traded to Dallas. He had 4 years, $70 million on the table. Turned it down because he wanted a max. A guy named Happy Walters was his agent. Right after that, he either quit or was fired. They parted ways. Because, yeah, Happy Walters told him to take 4 for $70. Nerlens wanted the max. He didn't get it. He's never got, like, close to that since then. Like, it was a bad idea, but it was one on Nerlens. He was the one that turned it down, like, by these accounts here. And, like, that's not a casualty on Rich Paul with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rich Paul's got him. He's had a couple 1-year deals since then. Like, that's how it goes. You got to rebuild your value. That's a casualty. Like, so I'm really looking. Like, I'm trying to see these 5, 6, 7 casualties. Because it ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? Rich Paul ain't got but so many clients, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that as a knock. Like, he's just relatively new in this. He ain't been doing this for 40 years like David Falk. I'm looking at Bron, JR, Bledsoe, Wall, Corey Joseph, Tristan Thompson, AD, Draymond, Waiters, KCP, McLemore, Nerlens, Clarkson, Nurkic, Harrell, Trey Lyles, Ben Simmons. I know he just got Lonzo, DeJounte Murray. A couple more. He's got, like, just looking at this, he's got more than I thought. Mitchell Robinson, Miles Bridges, Gary Trent Jr., Darius Bazley, Darius Garland, Tyrese Maxey, Taylor Horton Tucker. So he's got, like, some real talent. Where are these casualties? You know what I'm saying? Where are these casualties? Because, again, it's deep dive time. Gonna do some deep diving. Oh yeah. So Nerlens turned down $470. That's on him. I don't see how you could legitimately call that a casualty for Rich Paul. Next one Like, and just of the big guys, John Wall got the Supermax 2 years before he could sign it. Got hurt and has been getting paid the entire time. Can't call that a casualty. Eric Bledsoe, I think, got 5 for 70 because the Bucks had to pay somebody last year. Like, they couldn't let everybody get away. So 5 for 70, if that, at the very worst, that's fair. At the very least, Bledsoe got over. Like, we've just seen what he's done the past 2 years in the playoffs. Great defender, but in the playoffs, he just hasn't been what they need to be a championship team. So Tristan Thompson, he held out a couple weeks into camp and still got, or I think almost going into camp, he got $80 million. He just finished that contract. Draymond Green, listen, going into this past year, this was a contract year for Draymond. Clay was out. They didn't know Steph was going to be hurt. I'm almost certain Steph started the season, right? Or if he missed it starting, I think he came shortly after started playing. So they could have been like, hey, Draymond, you 30 or about to be 30. You haven't been in the best shape. We haven't seen it like all the time from you. Before we want this commitment, before we make this commitment, we want to see something. Nah, they just gave him, he got 4 for 100, but even before this year. So that's not a cap casualty. Like, AD, I wish the way he got out of New Orleans was handled better. But listen, he got out of there and it worked. Like, you know what I'm saying? It worked. You know what I'm saying? What can you say? It worked. Like, apparently, it came out middle of the season, but Pelicans player said he asked for the trade before the season, before last season, and asked for it privately. It only leaked out publicly later. So the teammates knew it, and they were like, yeah, we got it. You know what I'm saying? There was no beef. We got it. Anytime he was out there, he played. Now, the That's All, folks, shirt he wore the last Pelicans game, I wish he didn't do that. I really wish he didn't do that. And there was a game before the All-Star break. He and Rich Paul were there, and they left. I don't know, for like half, they like left the bench. I don't know. Something happened with that. I wish he didn't do that. But listen, in terms of financial interest, what money has that cost Anthony Davis? You know what I'm saying? And in terms of real interest or whatever, excuse me, that's on Anthony Davis. How you put that on Rich Paul? Like, Anthony Davis is a grown man. He chose to wear that shirt. He chose to leave that game early. And you know what? I bet he'd do it again because it worked like a charm. I can disagree and not like it all I want. It worked. It worked like a charm. He showed how nice he was on the biggest stage. He's about to, I imagine, opt out, get a big deal. Or like I don't know what the cap casualty is there. I say that to say. Corey Joseph got, I think, 3 for 39 to be the Kings' backup point guard. Not a casualty there. Like, McLemore was on the fringes of being in the league, which I say that not as a knock. So, but what, you know what I'm saying? What kind of cap who's offering him the max? Harrell's about to get paid. It wasn't Rich Paul out there playing terribly against the Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? So if his value go down off that I can't call that a Rich Paul casualty. DeJounte Murray, I think 64. I think either right. It might have been after he tore his ACL, like just at 64 on good faith. Lonzo hadn't been paid yet. Miles Bridges, Gary Trent Jr., Mitchell Robinson, those guys haven't been paid yet. Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris was a former client. And what happened with Marcus Morris last summer, he had a deal for 3 years, $41 million with the Clippers. And the rumor was that he turned that down because Rich Paul, his agent at the time, didn't want him with the Clippers. Braun was a Laker. He couldn't have Marcus. He didn't want Marcus Morris to be a Clipper. So instead, Marcus Morris signed 2 for 20 with the Spurs. But He ended up reneging on that, and he ended up getting 1 year for $15 million with the Knicks, and it lucked into his favor because the Knicks didn't have that much money, but Reggie Bullock failed a physical, so they had more money to give Marcus Morris, so he ended up getting 1 for 15. The Knicks had a little extra space, so like more, he made 15 last year. If he gets 2 for 26 and he's a free agent now, if he breaks even, you know what I'm saying? I can't call that a loss, but he didn't take that. So we can't say if he made the right or wrong choice, but I don't know. I don't know if that's Rich Paul's strike. You know what I'm saying? Like, if so, that's the strike. Okay, but like Markieff Morris, the one who this is not about, tweeted about it, was like, y'all think that's why he didn't sign with the Clippers? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think that's why? So apparently, yeah, he turned down the 3 for 41 for 2 for 20 from the Spurs, and ended up getting 1 for 15. So he's not a client anymore. Like, if you want to say that's the casualty, okay. Now, okay, if that's one, okay, sure. Even if Markieff, like, I don't know the Morris twins to be liars. If Markieff was like, no, that's not why he didn't go to the Clippers. Also, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he was the hot button guy today. And I think he's another one because when he left Detroit a couple years ago, they offered him 5 years for $80 million. Okay, 5 years for $80 million, 16 per would have been, guaranteed. He was in Detroit. He turned that down and went to the Lakers. The first year he made, I think, $17 million, then 12. And this last year he made 8 and some change. So he made about 38, 39 million over 3 years. So we'll call that about 13 million. So the options were, like, the whole thing this came down to, I asked, if you're Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, which would you rather do? You take the 580, 16, more money, but you're in Detroit. It's, again, quality of life. I can't say what he wants, but I think a lot more players live in LA than Detroit in the offseason. Just a hunch. Also, the Lakers, they weren't winning yet. Like, they weren't winning at the time, but again, as a clutch client, I feel like you kind of have to know, like, hey, you're not going there because of this. Like, if Kentavious Caldwell never existed, you know what I'm saying? LeBron wanted to go to the Lakers, he would have went to the Lakers. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it still would have been living in LA and playing for the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? And the Lakers when they wasn't shit. Honestly, that's the dream. He played a couple years, they didn't make, like, you know what I'm saying? He was part of the non-playoff streak. And he's now on part of the team that helped them be on top. So I asked earlier, what would people rather have? Right? Like, just you personally. Would you take the 5 for 80, the guaranteed money in Detroit, live and play in Detroit? Or, I think it's funny, you can only have this for the NBA. Like, you can't do NFL, it's always take the money. If it's $4 more, it's like take the money. Go to Buffalo, take the extra $6.50 an hour. But LA, he's had 13 a year over 3 years. More risk, for sure. Way more risk. He hasn't come close to that 16 per yet. But he also, I think he either just opted out or is about to opt out. So when you're saying Rich Paul cost him or he gave up $80 million, like, that doesn't tell the full story. You know what I'm saying? Because 180 over 5, we got to see what Kentavious Caldwell-Pope gets over these next 2. You know what I'm saying? I think he's got to get, 2 for 43. If he got offered 2 years for $43 million, this contract, that would break even. He would have made the 5 for 80 and lived in LA and won a championship. So that's why I don't think you can say for sure yet, because it's not unreasonable. He just had a really good playoff run. A couple teams would love to take a chance. Like, the Knicks. Knicks just hired Leon Rose, a former agent, because the Lakers hired former agent Rob Pelinka and it worked. Leon Rose gonna hire sign Contavious Caldwell Pope 2 for 45 to think he gonna grease the skids getting LeBron to New York in a couple of years, or Atlanta, or the Lakers. Like the Lakers, if they just decide to run it back with 1 year, if he opts out, they can give him a raise. They can give him something decent because he's opting out of $8 million. So he opted out of $8 million in a pandemic. He knows he's getting more than that. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, Rich Paul has earned your trust there. So, and of course, like you can't, of course, know what he values, right? Because in the votes, a lot of people are saying they take the 80, they want more money. People say like a championship really don't mean nothing unless you're like a big guy, like a championship all-star level guy. And I don't know, like there's at a certain, I'll take that. I was gonna say at a certain point in time, I might have considered that. I was like, no, I feel like at all times I would have just taken the money in LA. Like I used to ask all the time, like 20 million in Miami or 40 million in Utah. And people are like, it's 20 extra million. And I get it. It's twice as much. Whole lot more millions. That dollar goes a lot farther in Utah. But Kentavious Caldwell Pope is 27 years old. He got to spend like 23 through 27 in LA, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you can put a price on that. He played with an ankle bracelet on. I don't know who. If Rich Paul negotiated that, he's the best agent ever in any sport, in anything. But yeah, he might, if he decides, yeah, I've made the money, I want to stay and try to win for cheap. Okay, that's a case where it's like, okay, he chose what was important to him. I still don't think that's on Rich Paul. You know what I'm saying? Does Rich Paul make grown men do this? Or do they tell him what they want accomplished and he gets it done? Right? Like I got told this went against his client's best financial interest. And it's like, listen, Rich Paul get commission on that 80, right? It's his financial best interest too. His job, the way I see it, is to present the options. Right? You present the options. You go get I'll tell you, as the client, I'll tell you what I want. You as the agent, go get that. Right? If he said, okay, yeah, Rich Paul, I want the most money. It's like, okay, you should stay in Detroit. We can sign it today. If he's like, okay, I want to live in LA or New York. Okay, I can get you this 1 year deal. If you want to, I think Kentavious, he went to UG. I think he's from Georgia. He's like, I just want to be closer to home. Okay, I can get you this much from the Hawk. You know what I'm saying? His option is, I get the offers, right? What you do with it, I work for you. I basically say that to, like, unless Rich Paul walking into meetings with Tech Nine and just demanding people sign things, like, how is he just got mind control over these grown men? So, and also then it turned into, the argument turned into, it's like, well, would you rather be like a role player in Detroit or LA? And people are saying you'd rather make like the extra money in Detroit, you'll get some endorsements. And it's like, hey man, Kyle Kuzma right now getting paid more by Puma than the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet him and whoever his agent is probably begged it, man, please don't trade me to New Orleans. Like, I'll play defense, I'll do whatever. I will be good. Because he's a guy that was picked 27th, and he's got he might be with Puma forever. He might be with the Lakers 3-4 years, 10 if you lucky. You know what I'm saying? 15 is rare, very rare. He might be with Puma for the rest of his life. And I remember after the whole Daryl Morey China debacle last year, it came out, I never heard who it was, that a Laker that was not AD or LeBron lost $1 million endorsement overseas. Just over that whole China pulling out of the NBA. And I figure it like Kuzma, Rondo, or Dwight, those feel like the only three. We're talking like non-Bron, non-AD. Those are only three I know of, 3 role players. So I don't know if you're getting that in Detroit. Also, man, you would catch me in a local car dealership so fast. Just give me a free car. Yeah, come on down to LA's Hondas, whatever you need. So, yeah, I know it's, again, more risk, more reward, but I would just take the living in LA, the winning, especially if you know LeBron's coming. And again, he's 27. He might just, somebody might just throw that 4 for 70. Nerlens, no, like, you know what I'm saying? It only takes one team. And I think worst comes to absolute worst. He just comes back to the Lakers, tries to win another title, and tries it again next summer when everybody has cap space. So, there's that. And, oh, yeah, one more thing about the Lakers. I think they're about to get somebody like really good as a third weapon, and I think they're going to get him for cheap. Like, the tweet the other day, apparently DeMar DeRozan's unhappy. He's in the last year of his deal. Oladipo's last year of his deal, he's unhappy. I think they get like one of those two guys or somebody similar. Because DeRozan's about to opt into a $27 million option. And he's not, like, he's opting in because he's not going to see anywhere near that per year on his next contract. But, I mean, it's also a guy, he just averaged 22 points, 5 boards, 5 assists a game. Like, he's passing the ball more. He had a career high in true shooting. Like, he'd easily be the third best player in the Lakers. Easily. Like, it was a point of talk who was the third best player this year, and it ultimately didn't matter. But if you put him on there, he's easily the third best player. And, like, I understand he's not a great shooter, not a great defender. Kuzma not eat, like, you know what I'm saying? And it'll depend on what it take to get him. And I'll get to that. But Oladipo, he's going into the last year of his deal, $21 million. And again, that, like, there's risk for sure. He looked good in some flashes. I remember he came back and hit like the game winner against the Bulls, I think, or tied the game. Then they went to overtime and won. He had some ups and downs after admittedly, like, just a rare injury, like a quad injury. It wasn't ACL or even Achilles, where it's tough but familiar. It was just kind of a rare injury for basketball. So he was up and down. He wasn't going to play in the bubble. Then he found out if he didn't play, he'd miss out on $3 million. So he did play wisely. And he played poorly. Like, admittedly, he played poorly. Like, up and down during the regular season. Wasn't supposed to play in the bubble, then was playing. He played sloppily. The whole team did. I get it. But he's going to be healthy. He's going to have had a lot of time off. He's going to be motivated because this is his next, I mean, maybe his last chance to get that big bag. He turned down 4 for 80 from the Pacers last summer. That would have been a pay decrease for him. So if they're just trying to get off of him, I think they can be half or low. And I say that because I heard Brian Windhorst, the Well Tapped In, say that Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, and a pick. I couldn't remember if it was a first or second round pick, but a pick. Said that was way too much for Oladipo. Danny Green, Kuzma, and a pick said it was way too much. So if that's where Victor Oladipo's value is right now, or that, like, if that's where just value in general, DeRozan wasn't as good as Oladipo was. He didn't have the injury concern. But listen, Danny Green and Avery Bradley for DeRozan in the trade machine work straight up. Like, that's just enough money right there. You make 27, you got to get, like, a percentage of it. You attach, like, the Lakers have the 28th pick in this year's draft. They got Kuzma. Then they have their pick in 2022. So not next draft, but the following one. So it's like you attach any one of those, and it's like you could get, I think, a player with that level of upside. Because, again, Oladipo, if he's the third wheel, maybe he don't want to play third wheel, but he'll play it to get his value up. I bet he will. Again, he'd easily be the third best player. So I don't know. I just think that they're going to end up getting somebody like that for cheap. What I predict is that AD opts out. They make that whatever move they get to get the third player. AD signs a 1+1. And then next summer, when everybody's a free agent, AD and LeBron hit free agency and recruit somebody else to come to LA, to the Lakers. I think that just feels like the most lot. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm taking any stretches here. Like, even if this, don't even include Oladipo or DeRozan. Wouldn't that just make both? Like, if Anthony Davis, he's going to get paid regardless. There's no real incentive for him to sign the 5-year right now. He could sign 1+1s like KD until the cows come home and not really lose all that much money. So I think they hit free agency at the same time, both knowing that they're coming back, but it's like, hey, that's the year Giannis, Kawhi, Paul George, again, Oladipo, like a couple other stuff. Maybe Hart, like a couple big deal names are up. And I think they convince somebody else for next year. But in the meanwhile, they buy low on like Oladipo or DeRozan, give up shit for him. Watch him come back and borderline all-star. It's like, who knew Oladipo could run the, handle the ball when AD's in, but LeBron is out. Wow. Like those Rondo minutes they lost last year because regular season Rondo. But wow, now it's just Victor Oladipo. So that's just my little prediction. Next deep dive. It's two linked dives. One was from Swigs, one was from Connor Lane, but I just copied them together. I don't remember which was which, so apologies, gent. But both will be answered, gentlemen. The first one was the best tweets of 2020. So I did the deep dive, and I've got 11 or 12 here. Did some homework, did some research. That's why you saw me. There's a couple. If you saw a couple nights ago, I was randomly retweeting favorites. I was retweeting basically the honorable mentions. Those are basically the honorable mentions. And these are not in order, but these are my best tweets of 2020. The first one, as I click it. Actually, you know what? I lied. I was non-visual, and the first one is literally a visual, but it's the white people in church, the Holy Ghost. And it's going to be the picture to this podcast. And if not, it will be linked in the, just trust. If you don't know what I'm talking about now, you will. Because there's a white church catching the Holy Ghost, and it's a guy dancing up on the podium, and a lady just take off running like a full speed in church, man. She's just taking off fly route like Deshaun Jackson, man. So, okay, I think every other one is non-visual. Next tweet. Again, these are no order. Okay, this next tweet, non-visual. This is from Hannah S. Cubs. This is from this month, but it was a crack of the bat tweet. She's, like she apostrophe S equals she is. He's, he apostrophe S equals he is. Their apostrophe RE equals they are. Theirs, their apostrophe S. There's a drive in the deep left field by Castellanos, and that'll be a home run. And so that'll make it 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. That's a great tweet of 2020. Thank you for your service, Hannah S. Cubs. Next tweet is by Damaged Troop Rip. Damaged Troop Rip. I can't read like Mayweather. When I get high as shit, I start talking like a vampire. I texted my bitch, come to me before day fall. Very funny tweet. Thank you for your service. Mammoth Factory with the tweet. It says, in May, burn down a police station. Abolish the police. June, we have listened to your concerns, and the Hamburglar is black now. Thank you for your service. Next tweet from Blaze the Great _X. Niggas in the 60s used to whisper game to bitches and they'd be like, oh my God, Thurgood, you really mean that? Thank you for your service. Our next tweet. Let me see. Here we go. From Noriega. She in racial chat room showing feet. Thank you for your service. I have a list of these and I'm clicking the link, so I don't know which one it is until it pulls up. From T. Neenan. So there were 3 types of songs men wrote in the 1960s. 1, I'm in love with an underage girl. 2, if my girlfriend even looks at another man, I'll kill her. 3, peace, please. Thank you for your service. Next tweet from A. Nakai _. Who's praying for me? Just fucking stop. It's not working. Thank you for your service. Feminist Thought says, did you have a happy childhood or are you funny? Hurtful, but thank you for your service. Game for a Lame says, if she bashed men on here, that means she's going to treat you like a king. Listen, that's a fact. That is a fact. So do not let these tweets fool you, gentlemen. She will tweet how much she hate men as she rubbing your tum-tum before Betty by. So don't for a second think otherwise. Next one. Thank you for your service. World Over Love says, there's another, some more game. If she start grabbing your arms and hands and asking you about old scars and shit, you got her. Another one. This is a stone cold fact. Stone cold fact. Thank you for your service. Ziziak 22 says, how old were you when the Guitar Hero crowd booed you for trying your best? I was 19. Ziziak, thank you for your service. At _ Cash Mac with 2 C's. This is some game from the ladies for the ladies. If a nigga answer the phone, yes ma'am, you get on his nerves. Listen. That's why I said not all these tweets funny. Some of these are just facts. That's just a good tweet. That is a fact. I think that was a tweet I remember. I think I was either around my sister or I told my sister about it. And she was like, do I do that? And I was like, oh, I'm certain that you do. You know what I mean? It's just anybody. And I mean, I've done it to people too. It's like somebody calling again. You don't even say, ain't no hello. Ain't no, it's just, yes, ma'am. Like, what can I do for you? Because I know you're going to ask me something. So if he answers, yes, ma'am, he love you, but you're on his nerves. You're on his nerves. And the last one from this year, another one from Damaged Troop Rip, the only person on here twice for me. I faked a nut before because I wanted to go home and play the game. Honesty. Honest hours. So that was the deep dive into my best tweets. The best tweets to me, I should say. Now, the next question was the best top 5 or 10 tweets of all time. I went 5, not because it was easy, just because that's one where I think you have to limit it, right? If I limit it to 10, and I could get 20. You know what I'm saying? So I had to cut it to 5. In no order, I think these are the 5 best tweets of all time. Yeah, let me know. Let me know which ones I'm forgetting just because I want to read the good ones and laugh again. But you understand there's only 5 spots. People going to suggest like 7 of them. Be like, how'd you forget all 7 of these? Like, because it's only 5 spots. You know what I mean? So, the best tweets of all time. I'm sure some of you already know a couple of them. But in no order. At Tom Brodu. I have wanted to die since the day I was born. I say into the drive-thru microphone at Wendy's at 4 a.m. They aren't even open until 6. I fathered the styles of a lot of tweets. Next tweet. This will never, ever, none of these really, that will never cross my timeline and not get a retweet. From Sarome Zone. Harriet Winslow would get dressed up to go out with Carl. Come downstairs, the whole audience would be like, woo! She looking trash. Top 5. From Godson 83. It's a picture. I'm sure everybody's seen it. It was from Kobe's last game. I think it was before the game. He's just hugging everybody. It's a picture of Magic hugging him. Just like grabbing his head, hugging him, saying something in his ear. And Godson 83 posted that picture with, it was Dionne Warwick, fam. That, I've lost sleep laughing at that. A lot of sleep. Another one in the top 5. From Big Mama Juan. If your pussy stink, take your shoes off first so we think it's your feet. Just some game for the ladies. And actually, you know what I'll say? I said these weren't in order. But I do think this is number 1. 5 through 2, you can argue whatever order. But I do think this is the single best tweet of all time. Alaskan Carl 1. I spilled baked beans all over myself watching Cars 2 in theaters, and a black teenager shouted, "This nigga eating beans!" And everyone laughed. Follow-up tweet. One of the most embarrassing situations in my life. I think that's the best tweet of all time. Because something that I did not realize, he tweeted this in June of 2017. He tweeted this at 1:49 a.m. Right? And he, like on the tweet, from the format, I think it's from, I guess his original, I don't know. Like I was trying to do like even the time zone math, but it's just much funnier to just assume it was at 1:49 a.m. his time. He was just up. Like him just like timing out the route perfectly, man. Like got these hot beans. Gonna watch some Cars 2. Gonna watch it in the theater. Gonna eat my beans. And so he's like, the credits are going. And he's like, oh boy, it's almost showtime. It's almost time for Alaskan Carl to shine. And he pulls out his thermos. And he just spilled the baked beans all over himself, man. And if you know anything about black teenagers, they're the loudest human beings in the world. So you know this black teen, like it wasn't he didn't elbow a friend and be like, "Hey man, I think that nigga's eating beans." I just like to imagine he just stood up, put like one foot on top of the seat, and like pointed like at the old cartoon hound dog. It was like, man, this nigga eating beans. And Carl said everyone laughed. He said one of the most embarrassing situations in my life. Bro, you mean one? What you mean one of them? I remember when Snoop Dogg, in the Snoop Dogg verses, he played Murder Was the Case They Gave Me. He said this is one of the songs that meant a lot to me. I said, the song about you beating murder and not living the rest of your life in jail, that's one of the songs that means a lot. You know what I mean? If I wrote that song, I feel like this is by far the song that means the most to me. But Carl said this is top 5 most embarrassing for AC, Alaskan Carl. I think he deleted his account, but thankful that screenshot lives on, because I think that is the single funniest tweet in the history of this wretched universe. All right, next deep dive. This is one I've been wanting to do. I've never done it. It's been a long time coming. But I did the Wayne Gretzky deep dive, guys. Wayne Gretzky. Fire name alert. That was the first thing on my file. Fire name alert. Wayne Gretzky. That boy was going to succeed at whatever. The tax accountant Wayne Gretzky is fired. So, again, of course, I know who Wayne Gretzky is. Everybody knows his name, face. And it's a thing where it's like, I know he's considered the best hockey player of all time. Like, okay. And over the years, people are like, no, like, I don't, like, look into just the level of dominance of how much better he is than everyone else. I said, okay. I just wrote these down in bullet points, just like I was just taking notes on it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm just doing a book report on Wayne Gretzky. So, he won 7 straight points titles. Assists and goals combined as points. Everyone knows that. He won 7 straight of those. He won 10 total in his career. So again, I know Wayne Gretzky, but it's like you hear he has 7 straight points titles. It's like, okay, I know that's a lot, but in relation to who's number 2, like, you know what I'm saying? How much better? That's where I feel like I learned the most here. So he won 7 straight points titles, 10 total. Nobody else has won more than 6 in their career. Okay, nobody else has more than 6 in their career. He had 6 by the time he was 26. So he, like, one rookie of the year just came in, was just that boy immediately. Of the all-time single season individual point score, the top 10 seasons, Wayne Gretzky has 8 of them. Of the top 10 point season all time. And in that, nobody has ever hit 200 in a season. Like, nobody has ever hit 200 points in a season. But Wayne Gretzky, he's done it 4 times. Like, I think that's the one where I was really starting to get into, okay, like, I'm starting to understand the level of just separation here. Like, I hadn't even broken into goals yet. Again, we're still talking just points. Goals and assists combined. Nobody's ever hit 200, and he hit 204 times. He has the top 2 goal scoring. Again, these are just individual goal scoring. He has those top 2 seasons of all time. And he has 10 of the top 11 assist seasons of all time. So it'd be like LeBron. No, it'd be like if Wilt, I know he averaged 50 a game. He's probably got the top 2 point season of all time. But if he just also had 10 of the top 11 assist seasons, he's just also that nice passing the ball too. Like, Wilt led the league in assists once, and I think that's impressive. If he just did it 10 of the top 11 seasons of all time. Like, that's just 10 of his years are in the top 11 of all time. He has 49 more assists than anybody else ever in a season. 49 more over. I think they play 82 games as well. It's around 80. I remember it's similar to basketball. And he has the top 7 seasons of the assists. He has the top 7 before anybody else even comes in. It's just Gretzky 1 through 7. So far to me, I wrote this in my notes. This sounds to me like LeBron, man. Like a great scorer. Like that's the top 2 goal scoring seasons. But passing is what he's greatest naturally at. Passing is where he, shines. On top of scoring more goals than anyone ever. He also shined there. But he won 8 straight MVPs and 9 total in 10 years. Nobody else has more than 6 MVPs. So nobody else has more than 6, and he ran up 8 straight. He is number 1 all-time in points. Again, goals and assists combined. And I have to keep saying this aloud to keep myself straight. So maybe it helps somebody else too. Because I just hear points and think goals, but they're not. We're talking hockey. I'm standing up now because I don't know what I did to my back. It's absolute chaos. I've been in, is this what it feels? I think that I throw out my back. Like early 90s television taught me you do. You just throw out your back one day. But where was I? Yeah, 8 straight MVPs. Nobody else has more than 6. He's number 1 all-time in points, goals, and assists. The gap from him at number 1 to the person at number 2, the gap between 1 and 2 is as big as the gap between 2 and 94. Okay? So 2 is ahead of 94 by as many as many points as Wayne Gretzky is from 1 to 2. That's a level of dominance where I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Over the last 5 years, this is just in general, over the last 5 years, the point leader on the season averaged 110 points a season. Nobody's ever hit 200. Gretzky hit 200 3 straight times. So the point leader is averaging 110 now, and Gretzky hit 200, which nobody else has did, and then he did it 2 more times in a row. 6 people all time. Because some of what was interesting about this deep dive, there's the 22 wild facts, or he has so many unbreakable records. You can just read that list, but again, I don't know the context of some of this. That's why I had to break down some of the context of this. 6 people ever have scored 50 goals in a season. That's rare air. 6 people ever have did it. He did it in 39 games. Again, a season's 82-ish games. He did it in half that. 6 people have done it all time. He did it in 39 games. He was 21 years old when he did that. 21. 45 people all time. And when you say all time in hockey, that means something. They've been playing hockey for a minute. You know what I'm saying? All time in the NBA, that basically mean since 1982. You know what I mean? But all time, 45 people all time have scored 500 goals. He had 500 goals by the time he was 25 years old. 25 years old. 11 players all time have 1,000 assists. 11 all time. Second place has 1,249 assists. Wayne Gretzky is in first place. He has 1,963 assists. Is the scale starting to add up? And I was going to do multiple, Bond, Serena, in one, but I was I think it'd come off too much just reading stuff off a page. I want to break those down, but I'm hoping this isn't all running together. because I tried to write down only the stuff that was maybe like, oh wow, like there's a lot of impressive stuff. It's like, oh, that's impressive, but somebody else had that level of dominance. Kareem or Magic, somebody similar. I tried to write down the stuff where it's like people aren't even close. So I went and looked at Wayne Gretzky at the age of 25. Had to sit down. Oh my God, I'm dying. Wayne Gretzky at 25. He had played 8 seasons by then. Because you start at 18. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew there was age limit for or what it was. If you cap him only at 25, he just retired after his year 25 season. He has 481 goals, which is 51st all time. He'd have 856 assists, which is 25th all time. And he'd have 1,337 points, which is 30th all time. These are not, like, I didn't go back and take, like when he retired. Like, he retired in 1999. So this is anybody that's played or retired since then, if they're up there. But again, I think that's even more impressive. He hasn't played this century, this millennium. And he's still right now 30th all time in all-time points. And again, this is still, I'm talking about only at 25. Only at 25. He played till he was well into his 30s. But by 25, 30th all-time in points. He had 7 MVPs, 6 scoring titles, 4 awards. They have an award in the hockey, which I really like. I wish more sports would do it. The best player is voted only by the other players. I like that a lot. He won that 4 times. He had 2 Stanley Cup wins, a playoffs MVP in one of the Stanley Cup wins, Rookie of the Year, and a sportsmanship award. Like, he was a nice guy on top of it. He had all that by 25. 25, 7 MVPs, 6 scoring titles, 2 cups at 25. Again, he retired in 1999, and I didn't count for the people that retired and people have come since then. He retired in 1999 with 61 records. 61 all-time NHL records. He now has 62. In that time, Mario Lemieux came back and lowered one of his averages. Like, he had, I think, 2 records get broke. Yeah, he had 63. 2 get broke. But Lemieux lowered one, took himself out. So that's just one of those, like, wow, setting records, not even playing. What a legend. And he had his own rule. There was like the Wayne Gretzky rule, which I didn't fully understand. But apparently it was revoked because penalty plays. I know penalty plays, when somebody else gets in trouble, they gotta come off the ice. You get, you know what I'm saying, you're at a disadvantage numbers-wise. And apparently, I don't know if Wayne was just scoring so many goals that they changed it. They changed rules. It was the Wayne Gretzky rule. And from what I read, it sounds like he moves, like the difference with him was he moved without the puck. That's what they were saying. And that reminds me of like Steph Curry, right? We had great shooters before, great passers before. But it was like when you don't have, like when you have the puck, all eyes on you. When you're a threat without the puck, that's when it's like, how the hell do we stop this? And that was apparently Gretzky. Like, he won 4 titles in 5 years for the Oilers, I think, Edmonton. And they traded him. Traded him at 27. Traded him at all that he did at 25. Add on 2 more cups. That was him at 27. Then the Oilers were like, I think we've seen about enough. And I think it was they had like 3 really good, so they traded the best one, trying to get the best return to build around the second and third best players, which, again, that feels to me like some shit that sounds good on paper. Like, when you're talking about strictly an asset, yes, flip your top asset for something that will complement 2 and 3. But in real life, it's like, no, this guy is just comfortably the best player ever by the time he's 25. Can we keep everybody? I know they wasn't making no money. But outside of that, listen, that's Oklahoma City being like, okay, We can't keep Durant, Westbrook, Harden, and Ibaka. We'll trade Durant. Like, no, my brother. If you got to pick one, I'm picking, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping who I think's the best too. And I got to trade. And if he turned out to be James Harden, he turned out to be James Harden. But I'm riding with the best player. I read that Wayne Gretzky weighed 160 pounds and could only bench press 140 pounds. Which, that's one of those, like, oh, wow. Like, 140 pounds is not a lot at all. And, again, sound like Iverson, man. How much could Allen Iverson bench press 140? Maybe in college, maybe. But this wasn't just regular season. I was like, let me make sure he ain't like a certain bad guy, power forward, who got all them numbers in the regular season. But no, he's got the most points in a playoff season. He's got the most 3-game goals, most hat tricks in the playoffs. He's got the most game-winning goals in the playoffs. He's got the most goals overall. He's got the most assists overall. He's got the most points overall in the playoffs too. So it's like, okay, like Braun and Kareem, right? Like you just ran it regular season and postseason, huh? Like not much difference here, I see. Wayne Gretzky finished with 2,857 career points. So basically 2,900. Second place, Jaromir Jagr, great name. Fire names in hockey. 1921. Third place was Mark Messier, 1887. So basically 2,900 to 1,900 to 1,900. And this article says, to look at his reign another way, Gretzky notched 44% more points than Messier. Because Messier was second at the time, this article, I believe. It would be like a ball player hitting 335 more home runs than Barry Bonds, 762. Like if somebody came along and hit, I don't even know who, Ronald Acuna, say, finished with 1,097 home runs, and Bond's second was 762. That's the kind of gap he has between himself and Mark Messier. He said it'd be like a basketball player scoring 16,868 more points than Kareem's all time. Like Kareem's at 38,000 right now. Somebody would have to score, again, say LeBron scored the extra 17,000, put him at 55,205 regular season. That's the gap between Gretzky and Messier. This might be the wildest one. Brett Favre's all-time leader in passer, 71,000 yards. It would be like another passer, somebody passing for 31,000 more yards than Brett Favre. Like somebody just comfortably topping 100K. 100K. And I looked up, like, he made it, after he got traded, he made another Stanley Cup, did not win another one. He was 4 for 4, but only with the Oilers, lost one with the Kings. And to the Oilers' credit, they won a Stanley Cup 2 years after they traded him. So I guess you could say technically it worked, but sorry, I think I'm just riding with the keep Wayne Gretzky part. Like I felt like that was a thorough deep dive. Didn't want to get too deep or get into stuff. It's like, I don't even know what that means. I'm not going to, like, that sounds impressive, but I don't know what that means. But for this, like, I understand points, goals. I understand how much better you were than the competition, both at the time and then also at all time. I understand that he wasn't a compiler. Like, he came in rookie of the year and just started strong and was just that guy. Again, by 25, you just retire with that. At 25, he would have to be the best player of all time. And when I looked up, I think Gordie Howe was second. He's the one that had 6 MVPs. I don't know how many rings he had. But, yeah, 25. That part feel like Mahomes. Like, the best way I can put this stuff into terms I understand is related to other people. Like, for sports I actually watch. And it's like, okay, Mahomes is, I think, 24, 25. I don't know. But when I watch him, I'm like, yeah, no, I think that's the best player I've ever seen. And if he had 7 MVPs by then, I'd be like, he is definitely the best. 2 Super Bowl rings? No, without a doubt. He's the best player I've ever seen. So, that was the Wayne Gretzky deep dive. I enjoyed that. It's a big learning experience. I hope you either learned something or heard it all over again. If you're a Gretzky fan, I hope it's just like music to your ears, because that is, again, however you feel about Jordan versus Bron versus, again, Kareem should always be in there. I know how I feel about it, but the debate between those three is closer than Gretzky and whoever you got to. I know Damashek says it's Lemieux, Yager, Messier, Ovechkin. I don't know if he's in like that caliber, but I know he's really good now. But that was the Wayne Gretzky die. Next question. This was one from a couple farm reports ago, and I was like, oh, this is a good deep dive question. It said, you can go back in time and change 3 moments in history, no butterfly effect concern. The only thing that will happen is the direct opposite. And the example was, killing John Wilkes Booth only undoes Lincoln's assassination. Like, there are no other effects. The catch is, for the 3 moments, I get 1 world event, 1 familial event, such as telling a loved one to shut up before getting in trouble, or telling a friend to do something before it resulted in a trip to the ER, and 1 sporting event. So, excuse me, 1 world event, 1 family event, 1 sporting event. World event, that's easy. Like, just whenever any of the first, just any slaving or any kind of, like, if you was exploring with bad intentions, you know what I mean? Columbus coming to what he thought was India. If you went to the Caribbean, if you went to Africa, if you went there with legit bad intentions, then the world event, I would change. The first time you go, they either told you like, hey, just go on, turn it around, dude. Like, don't even dock. If you dock, you're not gonna make it off the boat, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just gonna put an end to this right now. Right now. They're like, we have Bibles. No, go on, turn it around, boss man. Go on, turn it around. But your resources, hey man, keep it moving. That way. So, what? Just something to just make, be like, man, whatever happened to that Columbus guy? We probably shouldn't go there. Like, maybe we shouldn't try that no more. Chris, that was a big. They gave that boy 3 ships. I told him it's 3 ships too many. Y'all ever think about that? This is not a deep dive. It's just random. That for whatever great artist, person, athlete, musician, whatever in history, it was always somebody hating on him, right? Like, we see it now. Whoever it is in the great, again, musician, athlete, whatever, you see it's always somebody. So I just love to think of that at all times. That back in 1971, somebody was like, man, I am telling y'all, this Stevie Wonder nigga, he is, like, what are y'all seeing with him, bro? It was somebody yelling like, listen, Willie Mays, bro, like, what are y'all even saying, man? Man, Willie Mays hit a little 330, play some Gold Glove defense and steal 42 stolen bases, and y'all so quick to call his ass the GOAT. Like, even before that, somebody was like, man, I don't know how to say this, boo, but Mozart is whack. Your man is whack, boo. But yeah, that's the world event. Just maybe we'll just stay here in England. We'll just stay here, Portugal, wherever we at. We'll just mind our business and let them mind their business too. So that's my world event. Family event. This one was probably the toughest one to think of. I do remember a time, one that came to mind. It was my sister, my mom, and myself. We were getting home, and my sister and I both had to use the bathroom. So we were like racing to see who got to the bathroom first. I don't remember how old we were, but understand that my sister is 7 years older than me. So at this point, we're talking like, again, grizzly bear to gorilla. You know what I'm saying? I was just a physical specimen in my own mind, but just the age. Girls grow faster than boys. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stand a chance. But I remember we was still arguing. My mom was like, "I better not be arguing like when we get inside the house." And we were still arguing when we got inside the house, much to her chagrin. And I remember she was like, "All right, that's it." And I just heard like the closet door open, where my dad's belt was, and that meant business. It's like, wait a minute, if he's not opening the door with the whooping belts, but she is, what's that mean? And I felt like it felt like in the old cartoons, anytime you and somebody realize something at the same time, y'all just immediately look at each other. It's like, but that means, and y'all both look at each other. And so we both take out running. So we're trying to get to our room before our mom can get to the belt closet. And I don't want to say like the belt closet, like it's just literally where he hung his belts. Hey, I'm watching the game. That boy Daniel Jones is gone, Jack. Oh, no! How did he fall? Wow, that's really tough. Nah, like Daniel Jones legit read option, like just like you read about. Of course, everybody will have seen this or not care at all by then. Read option like you read about from the 20. He pulls it and keeps going. It was one of those. You remember when you was a kid, you run in a field, you just run so fast, like your legs just can't move that fast and you fall down. And I say as a kid because as an adult, I can't think of many times I run full speed. You know what I'm saying? Even if you like exercising, which, no thanks, but you're not running full, you know what I'm saying? You're not running full speed. Like you might be doing sprints or something on a treadmill going fast, but you're not running full, you know what I'm saying? You're not the woman in church. So his teammates are clowning him right now because, they zooming in on his face. Shit, that's funny. But yeah, no, the belt closet was just literally where he hung his belts. This wasn't like some like torture chamber. We weren't like abused. We got whooped, but as I see on Twitter, I said I got whoopings. Some of y'all got abused, man, and I don't say that in light or joking at all. But we were trying to get to our rooms before she got to them belts. And I remember my sister was ahead of me. And again, she's 7 years older. She take off running. But again, I'm just a specimen. You know what I'm saying? I'm just much faster. So I'm running. She just not moving fast enough, man. And I don't know if I tried to go around her or whatever. But our legs got tangled up and we both fall. Both hit the deck. And I feel like we both like turned over slow and looked up, and it was like thunderstorm behind my mom. We could only see like the whites of her eyes. Like, you know, they're doing like a cartoon. The villain looks big. Just the crackling thunder and lightning. And I think we both ate the business end of the belt. Because she fell. Because she, like, that was the whole thing. My mom, if she was going to the belt, you know she was mad. That's why I was like, listen, if we can just get to our room, man, this will blow over. We just got to get inside. The tornado will blow over. And my sister was like, my car won't start. I said, God damn it. And we were both killed in the tornado. But no, that was just a very wild place for the story to cut off. I didn't want to be like it. Now, my family had a belt closet. I used to get my ass whooped with the Monday belt, sometimes on Wednesday. It was awful. But the sporting event, one sporting event I can go back in time and change. This came between two. The runner-up was, I think it'd just be if you just undo that last Celtics ring. The jig is just up on a lot of people. A lot of people. Like, the real ones get a ring anyway. Ray Allen get a ring anyway. Rondo ended up getting one anyway. But if you just undo that ring, I mean, if you want to give it to Kobe, he has 6. You want to say somebody else, you know what I'm saying? But KG, Paul Pierce, Tibbs, Doc Rivers, the pack watch would be strong. Real strong. Perkins, you know what I'm saying? Just people who still, again, the real ones. Ray Allen was like, I'll go to Miami and be Ray Allen. Rondo's like, I'll go win a ring for the Lakers. Everybody, they talking that talk on, y'all remember, whatever it was? I really can't remember what year it was. 08, I think. But the moment I choose the sports moment I can undo, let me take you back to the 2009 finals. Orlando Magic versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Game 1's a blowout. Lakers win big. Kobe scores 40. Game 2 in LA. It's a close one. It's a real close one. And at the end of the game, I went back and watched some of it. Deep dive research, official things. Kobe does the exact thing that people wanted Bron to do when Danny Green missed that shot against Miami. Kobe drives into traffic and it's the cleanest block ever by Hedo Turkoglu, and he doesn't get a foul call. And it was just very funny, like, that's what people wanted LeBron to do. Kobe had that dog though. So after that, it's tied at 88 with 0.6 seconds left. And listen, again, a NBA Finals game tied at 88, gross. It's really gross. It's very nasty. But tied 88.6 seconds left. The Courtney Lee layup. That's the sports moment. That's the sports moment I change. Because again, I like the criteria is like, again, it's no butterfly effect. Because again, I can and would argue if he hits that layup, not even that we do win that series, just that there's a case for us winning that. It's a lot closer than 4-1 shows. A lot closer. And it was a series where, what year was that with Bron? 18 in the fun, whichever year the JR game, where it was like, listen, the Warriors are clearly better. But the Cavs went out and basically had game 1 till JR got the rebound, ran out the clock. They lost in overtime. Like, that was it. It was swept. That was one of those, hey, would the series have changed after that? Probably not. I think the Warriors still would have won. You know what I'm saying? They were just the better team. But if they get that game 1, you know what I'm saying? You really can't say it. So, if you remember Courtney Lee, it's a hell of a play by Stan Van Gundy he drew up. Courtney Lee gets open off like a back screen. Hedo Turkoglu, great inbounder, throws the perfect pass up to the layup. A perfect pass to the rim. Courtney Lee grabs it. Again, 0.6 seconds left. And he's kind of going from right to left, trying to lay the ball up, and puts too much on it over, I think, Gasol's arms. Not an easy layup by any stretch. Not like a gimme. Like people... There was some people saying like it was like a bunny, but I do think if Courtney Lee had that exact layup to do 10 times at that same exact point, I think he hits it legit 7 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he hits it more times than he doesn't. It's a tough layup, but he was a talented player. So if he hits that series is 1-1. That's why I say not even any butterfly effect. It's 1-1. Back then, the finals were 2-3-2, if you remember. So it was 2 in LA, games 1 and 2 in LA, games 3, 4, and 5 in Orlando, games 6 and 7 in LA. So, as a road team, all you want to do, all you have to do, Jalen Hurts is playing. That feels like a not good sign. Yeah, you win 1, you got 3 straight at home. So, Orlando wins game 3. Orlando's up 2-1. Lakers win game 4 in overtime because Dwight Howard misses 2 free throws. with 11 seconds left. Oh, yes, this is very fun to deep dive on. Having fun. Opposite of the Gretzky dive. Misses 2 free throws with 11 seconds left. Derek Fisher hits a 3 with 4.6, I think it was 4.6 seconds left because Stan Van Gundy chooses not to foul. And that was one of those, at the time, that wasn't a hindsight. It was like, oh my God, please foul. Please foul. Because we're up 3. If Dwight had hit even one of those, it puts it at 4, 2 possessions. And it's the Lakers. They have Kobe Bryant. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, please foul. This was 2008 where everybody wasn't quite as hip on, you know what I'm saying, trying to get up a shot. And it definitely wasn't getting called like that. So, yeah, Stan Van chose not to foul. Oh, yeah, have fun with that, New Orleans. So, the moment that I wish never happened, even above the Courtney Lee layup, even over the Dwight Howard free throws, I wish Stan never put Jameer Nelson back into the rotation. That's the moment I would undo. I think that's the moment I would undo. Because if I change the Courtney Lee one, that's an individual game. That's one. And again, maybe that changes the effect of the series. But like you would need that, and then also Dwight hitting the free throw for it to even be 2-2. Again, 2-2, it's a best of 3 series. Anything happens, but they had the better player, the better coach. They were the better team. It just was a closer series than 4-1 looks because of a couple things. And Stan Van Gundy put Jameer Nelson back into the rotation, and I think that's what killed the team. That's the moment I would undo. If you remember, that was the year Jameer made the All-Star game, but he got hurt early February. He didn't even get to play in the All-Star game. Had shoulder surgery. So Rafer Alston, Skip to Malou, took over. And the team was still playing well. It was really just the Dwight inside, 4 shooters around him. Skip to Malou wasn't a great shooter, but like a 35% shooter back then that could dribble, that was just enough. They got Jameer Nelson to the All-Star game. So he's off the entire February, March, April, May, June, all 3 rounds of the playoffs. And Jameer Nelson's finally healthy for the finals. So before then, it had been Rafer Alston, Skip to Malou playing about 35 minutes. Anthony Johnson, the third point guard, playing backup minutes. And I looked it up like just to make sure what I was like, I remember Anthony Johnson, he was playing like 15 minutes a game. He wasn't shooting the ball extremely well. It wasn't like a score or anything. But for whatever, he just held the bench minutes steady. And I went back and looked like his plus minus over the course of that playoffs. It just held steady. Like it was just, hey, can you just hold the ship till Dwight and Rashard get back in the game? Anthony Johnson was like, got you. And Jameer Nelson played 18 minutes a game that series because Anthony Johnson went to the bench. What I think Stan Van Gundy should have did at the time, again, it wasn't a hindsight thing. I think you have to keep Rafer Alston starting, but I give Jameer Nelson's minutes to Anthony Johnson. Like, he's the backup. Like, game 1, we got blown out, and Jameer Nelson played a lot. I was like, good. Let him shake that rust off. But if he comes back at all, I think you have to ease him in. Like, it's the fine. You know what I'm saying? And Jameer Nelson, he looked terrible. He had been off for 4 months. Like, over the course of the final, he shot 35, 17, 50 shooting for the finals. Averaged 4 points, 3 boards, and assists. So, he, safe to say, he did not get his mojo back. It ruined Skip to Malou's confidence. He stopped shooting, basically. He started hitting I think 17% of his threes in the finals. And the plan being shooters around Dwight, you can't have somebody not shooting and then only shooting 17% when they do. Anthony Johnson was like the emotional leader of the team. He didn't play at all in the finals. That kind of, I think, at the time I was like, that's gotta, it ain't gonna pull the team apart, but somebody gotta be like, hey man, that was like, you know what I'm saying? He helped Pops. I think they called him Pops. It was like, Pops helps get us here. You know what I'm saying? He don't play at all. Especially when Jameer Nelson wasn't effective. So those are my 3 moments that I would redo. Next question was from a couple episodes ago. And it was from AAA McKay of Euphoria fame. No, any questions for this week's show? And he asked, if you were to plan a heist with one athlete, one musician, and one politician, who would they be? And what would the heist be for? And I was like, this is a good one. It needs more thought. I'm just not a heist specialist. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a heist specialist. Like, I don't think I've seen any like the Ocean's movies. That was a great catch. It's not going to count at all. But I think Golden Tate. Yeah, I just not a, I don't know, not a heist guy. I don't know if it's one like I can't put myself in those shoes. Like we try to pull one of that. It's like 2 black guys. Like, want a diamond? No, call the police, kill him. But one heist I am familiar with. I think this would be the heist I would try to redo to some extent. D.B. Cooper. Are you familiar with D.B. Cooper? You know who D.B. Cooper is? It stands for Dick Bad Cooper. Nah. D.B. Cooper was a man in 1971. 1971. He bought a one-way ticket from Portland to Seattle under a fake name and bought the ticket cash. No way to trace him, which is just hilarious now. Like, I couldn't fly from Atlanta to Savannah without, you know what I'm saying, showing them my birth certificate. So, one-way ticket from Portland to Seattle under fake name. 3-hour flight. So on the flight, passed the stewardess a note. It was like, I have a bomb in this briefcase, because you could also just take a briefcase of whatever you wanted on the plane. Not like nobody looked inside the briefcase. Wild times. What do you think he got in there? I don't know. Probably papers. I don't know. Whose business is mine? You know? Have a good flight, sir. But, yeah, sent a note for her to send to the pilot. He asked for 4 parachutes and $200,000 in cash, in $20 bills. $200,000 in 1971 is $1.2 million today. So, you know what I'm saying? The boy was aiming high. Aiming high. So, they get to Seattle. He exchanged the passengers on the flight for the money and the parachutes. He got the 4 parachutes, got the cash, handed over 36 passengers. Then he told them, he's like, now we're going to Mexico City. They go back in the air. They're going to Mexico City. They had 5 planes tailing them just because they're like, it has to be federal crime, right? Like hijacking an airspace, like ransom, like multiple federal crimes. That boy D.B. Cooper was looking at big time. Down bad, Cooper, if they caught him. But while they're on the plane, he makes everybody get into the cockpit. I think into the cockpit. And after like a while, they notice like an air pressure change. They go out. He parachuted off the plane. He jumped out and was never found. They found a pack, like a quarter of it. I think it said like, not even. I think, he got 200K. They found, I think, 5K of it. Not 50, like not a quarter of it, but 5K back then, enough. They found it in like a pack, like rotted in the woods. A kid found it somewhere. But again, that's only a quarter of it. They never discovered the rest. They never found his body. They never found, like, they scanned the whole area. It was like he probably died from that jump. But they were like, no, he took the briefcase of the money. He took 2 of the parachutes. They say he took something out of one of the other parachutes. He's probably like, y'all make sure y'all ain't giving me no jive. Y'all bring 4 good ones. But never seen again. And listen, his name wasn't even DB. He told him his name was Dan. It got like mixed up at the newspaper. Like, that's just how thin the margins are. So the boy did some finessing. And this was just another part I thought was interesting. Quote, a month after the hijacking, the FBI distributed list of the ransom serial numbers to financial institutions, casinos, racetracks, other businesses that routinely conducted significant cash transactions, and to law enforcement agencies around the world. Northwest Orient, which was the airline, offered a reward of 15% of the recovered money to a maximum of $25K. In early 72, the U.S. Attorney General released the serial numbers to the general public. And in 1972, two men used counterfeit $20 bills printed with the Cooper serial numbers to swindle $30,000 real dollars from a Newsweek reporter named Carl Fleming in exchange for an interview with the man they falsely claimed was the hijacker. This is why there's such a great heist, a great finesse, because their finesse led to another finesse, right? Like, I'm more a finesse guy than a heist. Like, the Silners didn't heist anybody. That was just a finesse. Bobby Bonilla didn't heist any, you know what I mean? But back to the article. In 1973, with the ransom money still missing, the Oregon Journal republished the serial numbers and offered $1,000 to the first person to turn in a ransom bill to the newspaper or any FBI field office. In Seattle, their newspaper made a similar offer with $5,000. The offers remained in effect till Thanksgiving 1974, and though there were several near matches, no genuine bills were found. In 1975, Northwest Orient insurer Global Indemnity, I don't know, I can't read, Indemnity, complied with the order from the Minnesota Supreme Court and paid the airlines $180,000 claim on the ransom money. So the airline, like the Supreme Court was like, bro, y'all got to pay them, like, or y'all got to wipe this money off. Like, they legit got hosed. Nobody know where the money is. So that's the heist. For this, I need a politician, a musician, and an athlete. Okay, so I'm on the plane, but I'm just regular passenger guy, right? I'm just regular passenger guy. The athlete, the musician, and the politician, they're not in. Like, I'm getting somebody else to be Dickbag Cooper. So the politician that is on the plane, AOC. And I think it's got to be AOC because a lot of people really dislike her for, wanting to treat gay people like human beings. Or, I don't know. I think she used to be a waitress. I think people are very opposed to that. But the ones that follow her, like, really like her. The ones that don't like her, like, she's divisive. So when it comes to find out something now, this would be caught immediately. And of course, you can never, like, buy a ticket without giving them armpit hair. Like, they could find you in a second now. But boy, oh boy, DB put a number on him. But for the case of my heist, I need AOC because this breaks now. People are in the air. They're talking about, oh my God, how could this happen? This is a crisis. How could a politician be on a plane where this happened? How could this be so easy? Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they look at the system and they kind of get the blame off of us, right? They look away from the heist. This couldn't be, oh my God, this is terrorism. Should we change the color? And again, she don't take the public dollars, you know what I mean? So she got a little reason to be in on the heist. You know what I mean? So the musician, John Legend. Okay, hear me out. I need John Legend on the plane. Why? Because I need Chrissy Teigen on the ground tweeting about it. So when shit goes bad in the sky, he pulls out the rich people airplane and baby, we're getting hijacked. It's Dickbag Cooper. He's up to no good. She's tweeting about it. It's a trending topic. It's a trending topic. The people know, hey, we got to get on top of this quick. Like, hey, airspace, y'all get it together. If we got to shoot this bitch down and say it disappeared, you know what I'm saying? Like they allegedly happened to their one plane. But they got to quiet this down quick. It's getting too big. It's getting too big. Politicians are on board. Chrissy Teigen got, millions of followers, and she tweeting about it. Also, this can be motivated by a number of factors. John Legend don't need the money. That guy's doing well. So he's the musician, but he's really just a ruse. And the athlete, a soccer guy. Which one? Really any of them. Really any of them. You know what I mean? Neymar, Messi, I don't know. David Beckham, sure. Let's go David Beckham, right? Like he famous white, you know what I'm saying? Like international pool is what I'm looking for. They have the overseas pool. So, AOC politician, she gets it worldwide. John Legend, Chrissy Teigen get it trending on Twitter worldwide. The athlete, they got like hundreds of millions of followers. Like Neymar got so many more followers than like Mike Trout or even like LeBron. Like it's wild how much more international fame they have by that measure. So we just need more. Like the bigger we can make this, and I know it sounds crazy, but the bigger I think we can make this, the more I think we can kind of escape in plain sight. Just like ODB, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like for every single person searching Neymar's name on the gram, he got like 90 million followers, I think. With whatever hashtag, it's gonna be so much fluff on. You know, is hashtag Neymar okay on the hashtag Flight 52 or whatever? And if you're trying to comb through there and pick through, man, you'll never get through it all because I got 90 million strong hoping that he's okay. And he is okay. He knows he's going to be okay because he's in on this too. And again, he got scratched too. So it's like, why would he do this? Exactly. Why would any of them do this? Why would I even be in this scenario? Now it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like this. I get the whole thing put together and now it's unbelievable. You go to hell. Now it's unbelievable. The AOC and it's like, why I heard David Beckham on a plane? Why is she flying Spirit? You people make me sick. But that's the crime. And again, I'm not a heist expert. Somebody threw a really nice pass. Great pass. It probably don't make no sense, but to me, I feel like if I can just, like, you can't hide shit, hide now. Like, you know what I'm saying? All it takes is one YouTube rabbit hole and somebody find it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this, we don't try to hide it. We put, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my gosh, we need everybody talking. We need information overload on this. I don't even know how much money I would get DB to ask for. I might even, it might be Bitcoin now. You know what I'm saying? They might need to put some Bitcoin in on the board. But just for them to never find like the body or the money. And this was like they put high resources into this, right? Like they had heavy incentive to be like, okay, if this was this easy to do, we have to make sure this is never done again. You know what I'm saying? And they end up closing the case, man. They like, we don't know, bro. We think he died from the fall. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that will be the heist. That's the crew. For the reasons I picked them, I'm sure we'd get caught early. Next question. Richo Davis says, just wanted to make sure I was keeping track of the future deep dives. Yes, I am, Rich. So far, he had Chappelle Show skits, which I talked that a couple shows ago. But again, that just might be a recycling. What's my top 5 Chappelle skits this month? You know what I'm saying? That ain't a deep dive. That I want to sprinkle that out. Wayne Gretzky stats, check. There's Tony Gwynn. He said he feels like he's missing one. I also want to submit Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Stevie Wonder for consideration. So, yeah, y'all hit me with some more names. Because, again, I didn't want to just read, like, stat after stat after stat. I did feel like it'd run together. I hope this one didn't. Y'all let me know. Because I enjoyed doing it, but if it didn't, you know what I'm saying, present well. So I'm thinking maybe Bonds, maybe Serena, just somebody with, like, the crazy, absurd stats. Next, our penultimate question, big words, from Whack Human Being. It says, I would like you to design the Trill Withers meal. But a man of your stature can't be limited to one chain restaurant's menu. Pick an appetizer, an entree, a side, a drink, and a dessert from any chain restaurant of your choice to combine into one meal that requires me to say, tell them Dunkley sent you. Fast food and sit down permitted as long as they're all chains. Bonus points for picking items from 5 different restaurants. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. And I mean, I thought about like sit down restaurants and what the even divide was. But listen, if you're making a meal like this, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I want the steak from here. I want the pot roast. I want the fry. You know what I'm saying? I feel like fast food make the most sense. So, the Trill Withers meal. Tell them Dunkley sent it and tell them you need a extra crack user sauce for a discount. The appetizer. I need White Castle. I need a 4-piece of the chicken rings. If you have never tried the chicken rings at White Castle, they are jumping like Jordan, man. Like everybody got your strips, your tenders, nuggets, all that. But those chicken rings are exceptional. So give me just a little 4-piece to start off. That's just my appetizer. Just wet my whistle. My entree. Give me the Baconator, man. No cheese, please. From Wendy's. That is the real deal, man. And I think it maybe is, I never had like a cold one. They do just cook it fresh, so it's always like a hot bacon burger. That, I could do it right now, but I won't do it. I won't do it. And yeah, I don't know if they always cook it hot because they have to. But again, it's like, I'll wait. Like I'm at Wendy's. I don't have nothing else going on for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait. I will wait. Side. French fry. No, stop that. Give me Sonic's tater tots, man. You get them Sonic when they so hot, they still sticking together, man. With the good crunch on them. Some tater tots, boy. That's elite potato right there. Elite potato. My drink. I need a large Sprite from McDonald's. No ice. No, I take that back. Light ice. Gotta be from McDonald's. Because again, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if are they the only place that clean the machine? Or they're the only place that don't clean the machine? But whatever it is, they used to have the Coca-Cola and Sprite and McDonald's would clear your sinuses, man. So it gotta be a large Sprite from there. Light ice. And my dessert is, of course, the peach cobbler milkshake from Cookout. It's got real peaches in it. Got real cobbler in it. They put real vanilla wafers in there. And it's just a delight. So that's the Trill Withers meal. You go up there, you tell them Dunkley sent you, and you're getting a 4-piece White Castle chicken rings. Baconator. No cheese. Keep the cheese. Sonic tater tots. Small. I was gonna say small or medium, because again, no large. So we're trying to watch our weight. Drink large Sprite as we try to watch our weight. Large Sprite from McDonald's. Give me the Mickey D's with the light ice. And dessert, give me that peach cobbler milkshake from Cookout. Tell them Dunkley sent you. And the last deep dive of the day is a serious one. And it sounds like I'm reading like a public health ad, like don't do drugs or anything. But this was something that I keep seeing, and saw the hashtag, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I just need to read up more on this. And it's the hashtag InSARS. ENDSARS. InSARS. You may have seen it. You may not have seen it. And it's something that I've seen. It's one of those, like, I see it and I know there's something bad going on. But I didn't know what. So that was the last deep dive I did. So what NSARS is, the hashtag NSARS, is a hashtag. It started 2017 because there were activists in Nigeria. All this is in Nigeria. Set up to abolish this like federal police unit. It was called SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Right, like it's sanctioned by the police. Like these aren't guys gone rogue or anything. It kind of started like that, but like they're commissioned. They're officially commissioned. So it said SARS, as they're commonly known, has existed for nearly 3 decades. But over time, critics say the unit has developed a reputation for abusing its power. Amnesty International says it has recorded 82 cases of SARS abuses over the past 3 years, including beatings, hangings, mock executions, sexual assault, and waterboarding. So that's the hashtag. But like, again, what are SARS? What is SARS? Because I still didn't know. Again, Special Anti-Robbery Squad. It's a branch of the Nigeria Police Force. It was founded in 1992. It was created as a face mask wearing police unit that performs undercover operations against crimes associated with armed robbery, car snatching, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and crimes associated with firearms. That's what they were created to stop. They've been accused of several human rights violations, failure to socially distance, illegal stop and searches, illegal arrests and detentions, extrajudicial killings, sexual harassment of women, and brutalizing many young Nigerians. And the human rights abuses were documented in trending videos on social media. And that's really the importance of the hashtag NSARS. It's really the only like plea they have left. It's like we don't know what else to do, right? They're literally killing us. We're putting it on tape because it's like that feels like the only way to get people to recognize it. You know what I'm saying? We see it here. Somebody gets killed by the police on tape and people will see the tape. It's like, oh boy, that is awful. It's like, yeah, just hearing it 1,000 times wouldn't you just had to see it. And that's what this hashtag has done. I saw that, there we go. According to Amnesty International 2016 report, SARS is indicted and responsible for human abuse, cruelty, degrading treatment of Nigerians in their custody, and other widespread torture. Some of the human rights abuses include shooting of their detainees in the leg, mock threats of execution, hangings, and severe beatings. Again, 82 documented cases. These are just the documented cases. So, the people of Nigeria asked for them to disband, right? Like, just disband this unit. They're, like, awful. They countered. The government, the SARS, the police, all that, counter were like, okay, maybe we'll just reform it. Does that sound familiar? You know what I'm saying? Does that sound familiar? Because, again, they're officially commissioned, too. These ain't just some crazies going martial law or anything. And over here and over there, there are people that really think that kind of abuse, that kind of evil can be reformed. You know what I'm saying? So it started with the people starting peaceful protests and the NSARS hashtag to raise awareness. They started being brutalized, so they used the hashtag for that too. What kind of brutality? This goes back, just kind of a brief timeline. October 4th, there was a video of two officers dragging two men into the street. They shot one of them. Dragged two into the street, shot one of them. I think not long after that, a 23-year-old kid was sitting in a friend's car, like outside a house. SARS raided that house. He was leaving. He was like, I don't have anything to do with this. He left. They shot and killed him. Okay. At a peaceful protest, these are three different stories. An onlooker, like again, he wasn't even protesting. He was just watching the protest. An onlooker got killed because SARS dispersed a crowd with live bullets. Like they used tear gas to disperse groups of kids at a peaceful protest, but then they used live bullets to disperse a crowd and kill the innocent bystander. Again, does any of this sound familiar? You know what I'm saying? Like if I didn't tell you it was Nigeria, you could have been like, where is it? St. Louis? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ferguson, Oakland, Atlanta, like anywhere. And I think that's really the point of it. So Sunday, we're up to Sunday, October 11th, about a week and a half ago. On Sunday, October 11th, the protesters put up 5 demands to be met by the federal government. They were signed by the Nigerian youth asking for immediate release of all arrested during the protests, as well as justice and compensation for those who died through the police brutality. They demanded that an independent body be set up within 10 days to investigate and prosecute all reports of police conduct. They asked for psychological evaluation and retraining of SARS operatives before they are deployed to any other police unit. And they asked for an adequate increase in the salaries for Nigerian police. Those are the 5 things they asked for. Monday, October 12th. One of their governors told the people that SARS was disbanded. A different governor told the people that all forms of protests were, barred. But again, it's like, okay, there's no protest, but also SARS is disbanded. You have nothing to protest about. And a different governor banned the remaining police from engaging with protesters at all. This was October 12th. Same day, another bystander gets shot dead. So again, this is them on their best behavior, right? Like with all that went on here in the U.S., people were still getting killed by cops. And it's like, y'all, this is y'all with the lights on. This y'all in y'all's best behavior. And it's going on over there too. So we're up to October 16th now. That's when Anonymous hacked NBC and tweeted that they're going to continue supporting Nigeria. So I'm really thankful for Anonymous there. Really thankful for all they do. October 20th, the same governor that told the people it was disbanded declared statewide 24-hour curfew because it said the agitators were attacking both the protesters and police. Familiar again. But during the curfew, and again, this is where I won't say it gets real because it's been real, but this is where it gets wild. This is October 20th, a couple days ago. There are pictures of somebody that was allegedly working in the Nigerian government, like removing security cameras at this toll bridge where a lot of protesters were known to like camp out. So they got there like overnight, removed the closed caption security cameras from every angle. They cut all the electricity in the area. If you had like an electronic billboard on, it was cut. Network providers cut the internet service, phone service, everything. After everything was out, the soldiers went onto the compound and shot people for like 15 to 30 minutes. They just went out and shot the protesters like while they were like asleep. And the people were told like that if they sung the national anthem, right? Like if you like give yourself up, that was the way to show it's lights out, everything. But of course, lights out, y'all did it. Yeah. If you sit on the ground, wave the national anthem, sing the national anthem, wave the flag, we'll stand down. So the people sat down, they locked arms, and they sang the national anthem. They waved the flag, and 20 military personnel approached them and shot them as they sang. Shot them as they sang to signal that they were like nothing to surrender for. It wasn't any type of firefight. You know what I'm saying? So the Nigerian government is saying there were no deaths that night. So there were 25 people wounded, but no deaths. The people are saying there was as many as 15 dead. And they say that because after the people were shot, ambulances came and were turned away by the military. And we know that because after it all went down, that's when they cut the lights, phones, all that back on. And people started going live on Instagram over there. Like they was trying to get a bullet out of a guy's leg. And the military would not let the ambulances get through. But they would come pick up the dead bodies. They left the wounded. Wouldn't let them get treatment, but picked up the dead bodies. Because that's a bad look. So, October 21st, 2 days ago, as of when you hear this, it was more the same. It was more shooting of protesters. That's just, I don't know what the update is for this. For tonight, the 22nd, going into the 23rd. But that's the latest that I have. That's the latest that I've seen. I'm going to post a thread that Taylor Rooks posted, a very good thread that somebody has went through and checked and verified a lot of the information, the sources there in terms of information, what's true and false, and ways to help out. Because they need a lot of help, man. They need a lot of help. Again, that was yesterday's update, and who knows what's going on by the time you hear this. So I'm going to post that. I would encourage you, if you were able to, find a cause within there that's one of the verified causes. And again, check it, double check it, triple check it yourself to be thorough that it's a legit cause. But the thread has been I looked through some of it and, just random clicking. It seems legit because I didn't want to share it without that, especially in these times. So if you're able to, try to support a cause financially if you can. And it just feels so wild, like behind a paywall now. It's like, yeah, give more money. But hey, man, like if you're able, of course, I always appreciate your support. But them people need help, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if it can be some type of way to get some type of assistance or supplies or something, because they are, you know what I'm saying? That's one of those, we're trying to do it the quote unquote right way. You say, why don't they just peacefully protest? They are, and they're literally being slaughtered and lied to. So I close out the deep dives. It was a fun episode. That wasn't a fun part of it. And I think that is kind of part of it. You know what I'm saying? We're going through a lot over here. They going through like all that over there, and it's still pandemic over there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of places beat it, but when you gather in like that, and in different countries, the way they got, like I haven't watched some of the videos because I know just a lot of it is just raw. Like it's been people, dead bodies in the thread. Apparently, the people that the protesters that are getting killed are the ones that are tweeting and speaking out about it. Coincidentally enough. So if you're able to, at the very least, please at least read. Please at least stay aware of it. I think it's very important to stay aware. That's kind of part of like perspective, empathy, things I talk about a lot of. Understand that, hey, we got it bad here, and there are people who got it bad in America. Just understand that what you're going through, it's not unique. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of sad, but it is what it is. There's a James Baldwin quote I'm trying to find right now. Here we go. James Baldwin said, "You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then you read. It was books that taught me that the things that tormented me most were the very things that connected me with all the people who were alive, who had ever been alive." So I would encourage you at the very least, just stay up on that. Like that's just and again, this stuff is October 20th, 21st, 22nd. This ain't they fighting over some stuff a while ago. This is ongoing right now. They killing like the people trying to speak out right now. And it's wrong when they do it here, like the Ferguson activists and all that, and it's wrong over there. And it's a thing where it's like, well, it's all the way over there. What can we do? It's got problems over here. Well, educate yourself. Maybe you'll find a way or organization in there that helps in a way that aligns closest to your interest. So that was a deep dive episode. Didn't mean to close it on a somber note, but I wrote down, I was like, I want to look into SARS. I knew that was going to be the end. I didn't know what I was going to find. That's what I found. You know what I'm saying? I would love for it to be like, hey, it was bad, but, it sound like it's wrapping up. They on the back nine, but no, it's still real in the field. So I'm going to post that thread. I would encourage everybody to take a look at that. Help if you can, but educate yourself. Stay safe this weekend, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have no, however, now stay safe. Try to chill out. Try to do something. Try to reward yourself. I've been rewarding myself with food too much. I got to reward myself in ways that don't involve food. I just don't. The True Withers meals really has always been on my mind since I read the question. But now take care of yourself. Take care of your mentals. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And we'll catch you next time.